the origin of Gypsies and Indians according to the Bible, who they come from. If you've ever been curious about where the Indian people, the people of India, originally came from according to the Bible, then this video is for you. But before we dive into that, here's another fascinating question. Have you ever wondered about the origins of the Gypsies, a mysterious group of people with an intriguing and unique history? Today, we will explore their background using the Bible, genetic studies, and historical records to uncover their fascinating past. If you're already familiar with our series, please give this video a like to support us. And if this is your first time watching, make sure to stay until the end. If you find this content valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss our future videos. Now, let's begin another episode of the origin of peoples according to the Bible. According to the Vedic texts or Vedas, which are ancient Indian scriptures, they mention conflicts between the Indo-Aryans and a group of people called the Dasyas. The Indus Valley civilization is described as having people with darker skin, which aligns with the idea that the native people of India were descendants of Noah's son, Ham. The descendants of Ham, known as the Hamitic lineage, are believed to be the ancestors of the people of southern India, who generally have darker skin tones. However, history also tells us that a light-skinned group of people called the Aryans arrived in India. This tribe is believed to have been descendants of Japheth, another son of Noah. The Aryans, who had lighter skin and lighter-colored eyes, migrated to India around 3,700 years ago and mixed with the native people. This blending of ethnic groups led to a division within India. People in the north generally had lighter skin and green or blue eyes, while those in the south retained their naturally darker skin tones. This intermixing of peoples is visible even today. For example, some Indians have dark skin but also carry features like blue eyes, which demonstrate the genetic blending that took place over thousands of years. Around 1700s BC, this mix of populations continued, and by 500 BC, the light-skinned Aryans had established dominance in India. This resulted in a population that was a combination of both Hamite and Japhethite ancestry. Additionally, another group, Tagama, considered the ancestor of many Asian peoples, also had a small but noticeable influence on some Indian populations. This Asian genetic influence might have existed even before the mixing of Aryans and Hamites in 1700s BC, as many dark-skinned Indians already had straighter hair, which suggests some Asian ancestry. To summarize, the original ancestors of Indians were descendants of Ham, which explains the naturally darker skin of many Indian people. However, due to historical migrations and mixing with Japhethite Aryan and Asian Tagama groups, India's population became ethnically diverse, resulting in the wide variety of physical features we see today. Their ancestry can be traced back to the sons of Noah, specifically to the Hamitic lineage. Additionally, the strong mixing with light-skinned and light-eyed Aryan peoples played a significant role in shaping India's population. As a result, the northern region of India is mainly inhabited by people with lighter brown, white, and yellowish skin tones, while the southern region is home to people with darker skin, primarily of Hamitic black descent. Now, let's explore the origins of a people who share a strong genetic connection with Indians, the Gypsies. This mysterious group, known for their nomadic lifestyle, has settled in various countries, including Europe, Brazil, Turkey, and Egypt, among others. For centuries, the true origin of the Gypsy people remained a mystery, and very few people knew where they actually came from. The Romani language, spoken by the Gypsies, is an unwritten language, meaning it does not have a formal writing system. Additionally, many Gypsy traditions involve forgetting their past and even destroying historical records, such as by burning them. This made it even more difficult to trace their origins. Over the centuries, people speculated about where the Gypsies originally came from. Some believed they came from Egypt, Persia, Morocco, Romania, Albania, or the Ottoman Empire. Many different theories and assumptions were proposed, but none provided a clear answer, making their origins highly controversial. However, from the 18th century onward, European scholars began to study Roma languages more systematically, including the Romani language. They discovered that the Romani language belonged to the Indo-European language family, specifically the Aryan branch. This linguistic research provided a major breakthrough in understanding where the Gypsies came from. Through these studies, linguists determined that the Romani language had deep connections with languages spoken in Persia and, most importantly, in North India. This meant that the Gypsies originally came from North India, where languages related to Romani are still spoken today. Over time, as the Gypsies migrated from one country to another, their language and culture absorbed influences from the peoples they encountered. They interacted with Persians and Arabs who also had a history of frequent migrations. This interaction led to some cultural blending, though it was not the dominant influence. For example, Gypsies who settled in Turkey, Egypt, and nearby regions experienced some mixing with Persians and Arabs. However, these influences were relatively small and did not change their core identity. Despite these interactions, the true origin of the Gypsies remains in North India. This means that Gypsies are originally an Indian people who, before arriving in Europe, had mixed slightly with Persians and Arabs. Over time, they settled in various European regions, including the Iberian Peninsula, before later migrating to Brazil, where there is still a significant Gypsy population today. There are three main groups or branches among the Gypsies: the Roma, the Kalé, and the Sinti. The first recorded mention of Gypsies dates back to 1426, although there are even older references found in ancient Persian texts. However, the true confirmation of their origin was only discovered in 2012 when scientists conducted genetic tests and published their findings in a scientific journal. In this study, the DNA of 152 individuals from 13 different Gypsy groups was analyzed. The results confirmed what linguistic studies had already suggested. All evidence pointed to India as the original homeland of the Gypsies. According to genetic research, the Roma people's ancestry traces directly to northern India, particularly to the Punjab region near Pakistan. Why did they leave northern India? It is believed that the Gypsies left northern India because their homeland was invaded by the armies of Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. To escape this conflict, they migrated and eventually spread across different parts of the world. In the United States, there are many Gypsy or Roma communities scattered across different regions. These communities consist of various Gypsy groups and clans, each with its own traditions, languages, and cultural background. The Roma people, also known simply as Roma, are one of the most well-known Gypsy groups in the United States. They originally came from northern India and have migrated across many countries over the centuries. Even today, Roma communities in the US work hard to preserve their culture, traditions, and Romani language. Apart from the Roma, there are other Gypsy tribes in the United States, each with its own unique history, customs, and identity. Together, they add to the ethnic and cultural diversity of the country. Brazil is one of the countries with the largest Gypsy populations. The first Gypsies to arrive were from the Kalé group, with about 574 individuals who came from Portugal and Spain. Later, the Roma people from Turkey and Greece arrived, followed by the Sinti people from Germany who migrated after World War II. According to the Bible, the Gypsies trace their ancestry back to Japheth, as they originally came from northern India, where lighter skin tones are common. However, they also have Hamitic ancestry, which explains why many Gypsies have brownish skin tones, ranging from light brown to darker shades. This means that Gypsies are descendants of both Japheth and Ham. This same biblical origin applies to both Indian and Gypsy peoples, linking them to the descendants of Noah, as described in Genesis 10. I hope you all enjoyed this video and stayed with us until the end. If you found this content interesting, please leave a like and comment below, especially if you have Gypsy or Indian ancestry. Let us know which Gypsy branch you belong to, whether it is the Kalé, Roma, Sinti, or another group. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share your suggestions for future videos in our series on the origin of peoples. See you in the next video.